Brilliance Audio presents Let's Not and Say We Did by Elizabeth Hayley, performed by Lauren Sweet and Alexander Cendese. Chapter 1. Taylor. This feels weird, I told Ransom as we approached Brody's building. What does? When he reached up to rub my back for a second, I felt slightly better, even if the physical comfort was only temporary. It reminded me we were in this together. All of it, I said. But telling everyone, especially. Right now, it's just the two of us who know. But if we go upstairs and tell all our friends, we're involving them in something they might not want to be involved with. We're not even giving them a choice. We're basically deciding to involve them in covering up a murder. He stopped abruptly. It's not a murder. I looked up at Ransom, who had positioned himself in front of me. His hands on my upper arm steadied me a bit, and I felt a little guilty about it. I was practically shaking. I knew I hadn't welcomed Brad into our lives. That's not why I felt guilty. I'd tried to stop him, ignored his contact like I'd tried to do when I'd been back at school, and we'd both been students at Mount Bishop University. But I should have known better than to think I could avoid someone who'd shown up hundreds of miles away from the town I'd left. I could have done what I'd promised Ransom I'd do when Brad started making more serious threats. I could have been more forthcoming with my dad about Brad. I'd downplayed everything when I'd realized that once my dad took care of Brad, he'd expect me to go back to school and get on with my life as if none of this had ever happened. He still hadn't heard me. Brad was a problem he could fix, but understanding how affected I'd been by the whole thing hadn't seemed to enter his mind, which made me hesitate to share my feelings with him. So instead of opening up about Brad following me here, sending me unwanted texts, and even pictures of himself around town and at the bar where I worked, I'd assured my dad that it wasn't a huge deal. I wasn't in the habit of lying, and that lie had turned out to have fatal consequences. Though I was thankful the fatality had been Brad when it could have so easily been me if Ransom hadn't heard me screaming and come to my rescue. I was so relieved when we left Brad in that alley, thinking I'd finally be able to put this nightmarish part of my life behind me. After all, who'd want to risk tangling with Ransom twice?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?